Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these people?
Who are these people? Welcome to Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm Angel Rivera alongside Miss Witchy Perfect, and we got a lot to talk about tonight and this week in general. Sorry about that. So yeah, welcome. So
the first thing we should talk about is Darby Allin, because I need to get this off my chest. Okay. Darby Allin. You are not you're not over. You are not someone who should be talking about other people who are over. So you want to talk about, because we all know who he's talking about. He's talking about CM Punk. CM Punk is not a cancer. He is over. Your little AEW is not over. And the ratings show that. Your ratings are literally, you're down in the drain now, and you're just about to hit rock bottom.
Yep.
So fuck you, Darby Allin. You can go suck a dick for all I care, because you are not over. AEW is not over. CM Punk is. What does that tell you? So next time you want to run your mouth about bullshit like that, you better look in the fucking mirror. Oops, I think I missed. Sorry. Okay, I moved my computer and everything. I got a fly in here. I don't know how he got in.
Wow. Yeah, so there you go. Darby Allin running his mouth on Ariel Hawani's podcast. I saw briefly some of it. It's like, there he is. I don't know what was his intention, to get attention. Intention is either to get attention for himself or for the pay-per-view. Here's the thing. He didn't mention the pay-per-view once. Wrestle Dream is tonight. The AEW pay-per-view starts right now. So
yeah, because he was too busy calling CM Punk a cancer. And what he fails to realize is that AEW is the cancer. You're never going to beat WWE. You can't even beat NXT. NXT beat the crap out of you. Even if you go to Tuesday, even if you stay on Wednesday, they still beat you in the ratings. It does not matter to me or to anyone else that you guys can't get your shit together. You're literally in the drain. You're going to hit rock bottom. You're going to literally be through the drain and out the other side. Like the shit you are. So don't be talking smack on someone else. CM Punk is over. He is over. The fans love him. They sing his songs. They don't sing your songs, Darby Allin. Seems like a little jealousy to me. I think Darby Allin is fucking jealous. It just sounds like it to me that he's literally jealous. You're jealous that CM Punk is over and you're not, because your shitty company don't give a fuck. And it's garbage wrestling with Circus Dome. I don't even call Darby Allin a wrestler. He's a performer, and not a very good one.
Okay, there you go. So, oops, hold on. Let me see. I wanted to do this. Fuck him. And
the thing about, Moxley's wife, Renee Moxley Good, as
Shut your bitch ass up.
That's right. Shut your bitch ass up. Look, you married him knowing that he was a wrestler. You either go all the way or you fucking forget it. All right. There is no halfway. So it sounds like she kind of needs a divorce. She's sitting here bitching about, oh, my husband, the father of my daughter, blah, blah, blah. Again, you married him knowing that you were going to be a wrestling wife.
No, that I agree with, but the issue is Moxley's not like a normal wrestler. You see his matches.
He's a really bad performer.
You see his brutal death match style he has, which is what worries her about her husband. So it's not like he's a normal wrestler, like
right,
like in your average Cody Rhodes or something. No, he's a fucking idiot that likes to do these ridiculous things in his matches. So
still, I stand by what I said. I mean, you knew this going in. You knew he was going to be in wrestling. Wrestling is his life. He's not going to give it up. Yeah, you're frustrated, but then You shouldn't have married him in the first place because you knew this going in. You knew that he was going to be a wrestler, not a very good one, but he was going to be a wrestler. And I use the term loosely. Just sounds like to me she needs a divorce. She needs a divorce.
So before we get to division breaking up, apparently, I want to mention the fact that New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming to my city, my home city. In fact, about 10 minutes away from where I live right now. So it's called New Japan Pro Wrestling, the New Beginning USA Tour. It's their pay-per-view event, February 27th of 2026. I talked about this on X recently, and I tagged you and stuff. But yeah, they're
coming.
Are you
gonna go?
I don't know yet because there's no prices. So
okay.
Yeah, so if I do, it's a Friday night, by the way. So I would have to, if I do go, I'm gonna have to reschedule Angel in the afternoon. But there's no ticket prices. The tickets go on sale October 24th, which is next Friday.
So this Dragunov, I mean, he's the new U.S. champ, so it looks like they're gonna give him a push. I got my candles going. It looks like they're gonna give him a push, and now he's U.S. champ. So, you know, he beat Sami Zayn last night on SmackDown. I saw the highlights. Though it was due to Solo Sikoa. So, you know, Sikoa.
Yeah.
I'm not really impressed, really, but I mean, I haven't seen enough of Dragov. What the hell's his name? Dragunov. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dragunov. I haven't seen enough of him to make a determination. He looked good. I'll say that much from what I did see, but it looks like they're going to give him a push now that maybe has been. How long has he been in the company now? A couple years now.
He started in NXT, yeah. So he blew out his knee, so he's been out nearly a year. So now he's back and he's the U.S. champ, and you know he seems like he got bigger. Like he did bulk up compared to last time he was on TV. So, and he has a neck tattoo too. So he didn't have that neck tattoo before he got hurt.
About that, but.
Oops. So he bulked up quite a bit because he is bigger than what he was when he left. So when he got hurt, so that's good for his career in WWE because Vince isn't around anymore, but still WWE.
Yeah, but did you see? I'm sure you've seen him in court. He looks like that Odie skunk. He looks like Pepe Le Pew. Just don't get a black cat around him.
Yep.
I love you. You know, it's. I've seen the court things, and I'm just like, ooh, Vince, dude. Enough of the Pepe Le Pew, dude.
We talked about this, but he again, Vince was recklessly driving and crashed behind a poor woman and destroyed her car, and destroyed his car too.
Well, she's lucky it didn't destroy her.
Yeah, he destroyed her vehicle, totaled his vehicle too. So totaled her vehicle, his was totaled. So and now he was in court, and apparently they gave him some sort of plea deal where he just had to pay a fine and pay for his vehicle, her vehicle, and pretty much that's it. You know, so
told you the rich don't go to jail, man. Rich don't go to jail.
Yeah, so you had to buy her a new vehicle and pay some fines. And...
Well, damn, Vince, why don't you total my car? I'll get a whole new car out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's always recklessly drove. I mean, Bruce Pritchard and Jim Cornette told stories about that. I would never.
I only heard the Jim Cornette side of it, but yeah, he's like,
never get in the car with Vince again. He did it once.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not going with this.
He did it once.
Peeled out. He had got a speeding ticket, threw it in the glove compartment,
he kept
driving.
Sped
off. And the cop's like,
hey. He's like, hey, motherfucker, come back and pull this guy over. I mean, what are you just standing there shocked?
Pull him over again. Give him another one.
I don't think Vince ever paid a single speeding ticket. He just throws him in the glove compartment and like. Again, Vince one of those people, billionaires that doesn't pay his bills. You know, he's famous for that. It's like Trump is. So, let's see. So let's get to division because this is the main point this week. So apparently Seth Rollins has a legit shoulder injury, which he suffered in the match with Cody Rhodes on last
Really?
Saturday.
Because I mean, it's hard to believe him after what happened with the knee stuff. I mean, is this really legit? Because I mean, they kept him on. They let him take the spear.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take him off. Oh no, injury! Injury. So he took the spear. So I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
That's why I said apparently he suffered a left shoulder injury
Okay.
during the Cody Rhodes match at Crown Jewel, and so they accelerated plans for Bron Breakker to turn on Seth Rollins because it's not supposed to happen until next year. So Triple H's style of booking where he teases and teases and teases and milks it and milks it and milks it, and then finally when it happens you get that big pop. But they had to accelerate their plans, so it still got that big pop. It was surprising, but it wasn't. Wasn't part of their plan initially. So
Right.
and then
Macy, I had a palm reading too when I was a kid, and they weren't right. But just really quick, I do have a tarot channel. If you want to look on, it's on X and on Rumble. I'm sorry, on YouTube and Rumble. If you want to just search it, it's Mrs.Witchy Perfect's Tarot. Look that up and subscribe, like, share, so that I can grow the channel and it can reach more people. If it resonates with you, like and share and comment.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, so that's good set. Anyways, at the beginning of the night, the way they set it up was Seth Rollins came out, cut a promo, he put over everybody in the division, Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman, and
But he kind of
Bronson
didn't.
Reed.
If you listen to the promo that he did, he kind of didn't. He kind of was like, I don't need these people. I don't need these people, but they chose me or something like that. And I'm like, at the end, I'm like, I guess they didn't choose you after all.
Yeah, so eventually when he did say that, Bron Breakker got a look on his face like,
yeah, I mean, you saw
he
the
wasn't
look
happy
on
about
his
it.
face, and it was like, well, then why are we in here with you?
Mm-hmm. So eventually, at the end of the night, CM Punk has a triple threat match with LA Knight and Jey Uso for the world title, number one contendership for the world title. Of course, who took the fall? Was it Jay, I assume, or was it LA Knight again? I forget.
It was Jay, I think.
Yeah, okay, it was Jey Uso. So LA Knight, at least he didn't eat the pin, but again, he lost the number one contenders match for a world title.
Did he beat Elias? Was that Elias LA Knight? Or is that someone completely different?
LA Knight was never Elias. I mean, it's different.
Oh, okay.
That's totally different people. But yeah, I mean, LA Knight doesn't win again. I mean, they keep putting him in the world title picture, but he loses every time. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, LA Knight's there to lose. I mean, I don't know how to either stop putting him in world title matches.
Yeah, it's same with Jay. I mean, why even put him in there? I mean, he's been champion once. LA Knight hasn't. CM Punk's been champ, but I kind of want CM Punk to be champ and get his revenge against Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Yep. So, there you go. That's what happened. And Seth Rollins and Division came out. They beat up Punk some more, spears and tsunami. They threw him out of the ring. They shit-canned him out of the ring. They did the celebration to end the show, and the credits popped up, which is classic Triple H booking. The credits pop up, you think the show's over, and then boom, Bron Breakker spears the hell out of Seth Rollins,
and you can hear Michael Cole, oh my God, he speared Seth Rollins!
Yeah.
I went, well, good. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, so
I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan.
Paul Heyman was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Cross shirt on.
Yeah, Paul Heyman was like, what the fuck are you doing? You can read his lips. Is like,
and then he goes over to Bronson Reed and is like, you have a choice. Like real serious on the face and everything.
Yeah,
you have
good
choice.
facials. Good facials.
You
they
can
have a choice.
Stay with him or you can come with me. Real serious. I mean, it looked good. It looked like a real, it looked real, like who are you going to choose, him or me?
And
he grabs Seth Rollins, pulls him over and does the tsunami. So I think we know where Bronson Reed stands. The same thing with
And
Paul. He goes over to Paul and goes, "Are you gonna stay with this chump?
are you gonna come
Real
with me?
serious in
And
the
like,
face, or are you gonna come with me?"
and Paul has that chicken shit heel look on his face, like I'm obviously coming with you.
I'm
I mean, I don't
obviously
want.
gonna be with you, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm on your side. I've been on your side the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah. So he raises Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker's hand, and Braun Breaker has the world title. So they're setting him up for like a big main event push. He's probably the question is whether he's gonna win the title or CM Punk's gonna win first. That's now the question I like to know. Unless
Mhm.
Seth Rollins, it depends if Seth Rollins gives up the belt. If he gives up the belt, then it'll have to be CM Punk versus Braun Breaker at Survivor Series or at Saturday night's main event. I think Saturday's main event's first. No,
When
no,
is that?
Saturday's main event.
Is
I
that
think
coming up this
November
weekend?
November 1st, I think, Saturday's main event.
Oh,
I remember it's the match was take place November 1st before Survivor Series. So if it's gonna be Braun Breaker versus CM Punk, who gets the belt at that point?
oh, damn it! Now I don't know who to cheer for, man. I like Braun Breaker because he's second generation, even though I never liked his dad or his uncle. And I like CM Punk. CM Punk grew on me, man. He just has that mentality. Get away from me, Floyd. Um, he has that mentality, that old school mentality of wrestling. So I like CM Punk.
Yeah, so at this point, it's because Braun Breaker is a heel, so
And it doesn't look like they're gonna to turn him just because of CM Punk and CM Punk isn't going to turn. It wouldn't make any sense. They are singing CM Punk songs, you know,
no,
and they're
they're
singing it
not
to
gonna
him.
turn
Did
him.
you see at Crown Jewel? He's just like, they're singing my
Yeah,
song, man. He was like
yeah,
really happy, and he should be. He deserves it, you know, after everything he's been through with the WWE and with
he needs a
AEW, and
run,
then yeah, he needs at
but
least let
a
him have the
decent
belt a
run.
little bit. But you
Mm.
could still keep Braun Breaker in the hunt.
Yeah, he needs to have a run. It's because
Because
the
that's gonna be
question
the
is,
guy. Braun Breaker's gonna
yeah,
be the guy. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he's gonna be the guy.
they've already groomed him for that role. And hell, I mean, they over the last 6 months, especially, they've really hammered home the fact that he's going to be the guy in WWE in the next year or two. He's going to be the guy. You know, he's going to be WWE champion probably, and he's going to carry the company because he's only in his mid to late 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
already Cody's nearly 40, so he's probably on his way out, especially if his Hollywood career takes off. And he's gonna be a part timer basically, and they need a
Like
full
Cena
time
was for all
champion.
those
Yeah,
years.
yeah, they need a full time champion. So it's gonna be Braun Breaker. But the question is, when do they pull that trigger? Do they do it now or do they wait at WrestleMania?
I would save it for WrestleMania, but I don't know what they're gonna do. They don't listen to us, right?
No,
Even
but
though we're probably better bookers.
I would honestly, I would probably pull that trigger now and make him the champion, and then have Punk beat him at WrestleMania in 6 months,
So
and then
maybe
have.
like Seth Rollins can't be champion, so have him just give
Mhm,
up the belt, kind of like Naomi did.
yeah. So have Seth Rollins, if he's really injured, have him drop the belt, forfeit the belt, and have the title match between CM Punk and Braun Breaker at Saturday night's main event, and then have Braun Breaker beat CM Punk, and of course, yeah, I'm sure you would I would involve Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman in the finish to protect Punk. I'm not going to beat him clean, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, eventually, I would pull the trigger and put the belt on him now because he can handle it. He's good in the ring. It's not like he's too young. That he can handle being world champion. I think, and then let Punk continue to chase the belt. Don't because and then make that switch at WrestleMania with a babyface, possibly in the main event. Because hence what they do with Roman Reigns, though. Roman Reigns
I don't
definitely gonna be at
know. Like
WrestleMania.
I tend to agree with Jim Cornette. I mean, Roman Reigns' matches lately haven't been they've been subpar, if good at all.
Well, he's been working with Bronson Reed, not exactly the best worker either. So if you put him in the ring with a Seth Rollins or a Cody Rhodes, his matches probably be great still. But it depends who he's in the ring with. So Let's see. So yeah, I like this. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, initially I thought that the Bronson Reed teaming with Seth Rollins would be great for his career, but Seth Rollins been doing his own thing for months. Like he's not even been a part of the division. He's the leader, but where he's too busy dealing with CM Punk and AJ Lee and his wife. So it's like they're doing their own thing instead of leading the vision. You know, he's so it's kind of pointless. He's basically hanging out with Paul Heyman, which helps him too because Paul Heyman gives him that credibility. But where was Seth Rollins for months? He's just
See,
gone.
I don't know. I don't believe the shoulder injury because again, he took a spear. If he was really injured, I don't think he would have taken that spear.
Well, Cody Rhodes worked the whole match with a torn pectoral muscle against Seth Rollins a couple of years ago. So, I mean,
Call me crazy. It's all because of what they did before with the Seth
yeah.
Rollins knee stuff.
hmm
Again, you and I called it, and we're like, no, because they literally took Liv Morgan off of TV completely. Like they didn't even show her after she injured herself. So that's why I'm like, and the match completely
And it
stopped.
was a shoulder
Obviously,
injury too.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It could be. It looks like it's legit. Everything they're pushing out there. Like if for me to believe it, he's gonna have to forfeit that belt. If he doesn't forfeit the belt, then
I
I'm not
agree.
buying
Yeah,
this
for me
either.
to believe that Seth Rollins is really hurt, he needs to forfeit that belt. He cannot, with shoulder injuries, can get worse if you get in that ring
hmm
again. No, no. If he competes for the belt, no, then that
Yeah,
shoulder's not hurt.
no,
That's just the dirt sheets bringing up shit just to
yeah.
bring up shit.
Well, I was looking at X real quick before we get back to that. AEW tried they tried to do the Ultimate Warrior Rick Rude finish from WrestleMania 5, but they fucked it up. You know what finish I'm talking about, right? When
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan grabbed Warrior's foot
Yeah.
and dropped him for the 1, 2, 3.
Because
And
WWE did that too, but I
yeah,
forgot who they did it with. Heyman, I think.
yeah,
Didn't they try
they
to do that with Heyman?
yeah,
Heyman grabbed onto like Punk's foot or something, or
yeah,
he grabbed onto somebody's foot
I think he
and they
kicked
kicked
out
out
at 2 though.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a variation of that. But AEW tried it, the Warrior Rick Rude finish in WrestleMania 5, but they fucked it up because the manager was late in his spot. So the Speedball Bailey just fell on his own.
Oh.
So I can't show it here but he was late. It's like, oh come on. If you're gonna copy that finish, which was perfect by the way, it was perfect timing by everybody. So if you're gonna copy that finish, make sure you practice it before the show. I mean, get out in the ring.
Can you show it on Rumble or would they kick it off on
Yeah.
Rumble too?
No, I show it on Rumble. I mean, I can do it
Okay.
like that, but yeah, I mean they fucked up that famous Warrior Rude finish in WrestleMania 5. I mean, WWE has done variations of that since WrestleMania 5, but
Mm-hmm.
the first time I saw it was WrestleMania 5. Like, oh wow. And the referee purposely, counted the 1, 2, 3. Rude became the Intercontinental
Well, that's
Champion, and
because Bobby
Warrior.
Heenan was hiding like this.
Yeah, he was
He's holding on
hiding.
to Warrior's leg and he's like this, he's hiding.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that match. We actually did go over that match on my show.
yeah.
Somehow, I don't know how this is possible, but Rick Rude does better numbers than Kurt does. What the
Yeah,
hell? It's
that's
a
weird.
show about Kurt and Rick Rude does better.
Yeah, you've been saying that lately. Your channel that Rick Rude does better numbers when you talk about him. So yeah, let's see. I mean, not much interesting has happened in WWE lately, other than that. I don't think Cody Rhodes even appeared on SmackDown this week, or did he? I must have missed
Yeah,
it.
he did.
Okay.
I watched SmackDown. Well, the highlights. I watched the highlights,
Hmm.
and here's what happened. Drew McIntyre was supposed to go against Jacob Fatu for Cody's title. That it was a number one
Number one
contenders match,
contenders, man. Yeah.
and they found Jacob Fatu bleeding at the mouth in the back, and
Apparently
everyone
Jacob.
assumes that it's Drew McIntyre. That
Yeah, and apparently Jacob is injured for a shoot, so that's why they did that. Even though he was off
okay.
television since August in SummerSlam, but he's hurt somehow again. So now he's off TV again. Even though they teased him against to have a match against Cody at some point for the title. So I
So
tend
I
to
don't know if that
think
was fake blood or real blood. I'm not
I
sure,
don't
but
know.
you just saw blood all over the floor and stuff. And um, so you see Drew McIntyre come out on SmackDown and say, "Just give me the number one contenders match. I didn't have anything to do with it. I want my shot." Blah blah. You know he's bitching again. And of course, Nick
Yeah.
Aldis comes out and he's like, we know you don't think we don't know what happened back there. You know, you think we're stupid. He's like, I had nothing to do with it. And Cody comes out and goes, enough. You want your goddamn championship match? You got it. And he's not even dressed to wrestle. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
fucking Drew McIntyre he's dressed to wrestle, but Cody's not. He's in a suit, right? So
Yeah.
he goes out and they have this like match, and Cody's about to do the crossroads on Drew McIntyre on the announce table. Of course, they have to bring tables into this.
Yeah.
So he's about to do that, and referees and stuff come out, and they're like, stop it, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to have Cody versus Drew McIntyre for right now.
Yeah.
Where Braun Breaker fits in there, I don't know.
Braun Breaker's going for the world title, but I think you mean Jacob Fatu. But
Well, yeah,
yeah, I
Jacob
mean,
Fatu as well. But I was thinking maybe they might push Braun Breaker to SmackDown.
maybe because look, I think the major feud in WWE for the next 10 years is going to be Braun Breaker versus Jacob Fatu. I mean, they have two behemoths there, heavyweights, super heavyweights going up against each other. That's the WrestleMania main event right there in like a couple of years at least. So something to look forward to. But yeah, I mean, then we have I mean it's been AEW's been just atrocious. Hell, I didn't even know they had a Wrestle Dream pay-per-view until just about an hour ago.
Well, it's
Like,
not like we're gonna watch it, right?
no. Still, I
I'm
mean,
not spending $50.
at least at least I would know about it. I mean, there's nothing. It's just more like, hey, here's a meaningless pay-per-view for no reason, and we have a bunch of random matches here. So I'm like, really? I mean, we're gonna do this again? We're gonna. This is garbage, you know. I mean, let's see. God damn, there's 4 pre-show matches, and they're
Of course, they stick everybody on the pre-show. They literally, ooh, I think I got him. Where'd he go? Ah, you dead, motherfucker. Okay,
is
so
15:30.
they try to cram everybody into that pre-show. I'm telling you, that pre-show is literally just, oh hey, do you wrestle for AEW? Oh, okay, get on the pre-show. Even if you don't know who the motherfucker is,
15:30. Wait, let's do this. 15 plus 3 plus 12 plus 13. That's 43 minutes worth of wrestling on the pre-show. And then what? That's probably a 90-minute pre-show.
Yeah.
So 43 minutes worth of wrestling on that pre-show. Oh my god. The Death Riders, Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta defeated Roderick Strong in the conglomeration. Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Tomohiro Ishii by pinfall.
Ishii.
Oh, by the way, Orange
We love
Cassidy
you,
is
Jim
back.
Cornette.
He's back after over a year being out. Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy, great.
Yeah. And no one ever said, hey, I want to watch Orange Cassidy, just like Brian Last. We finally got to hear the Antonio Inoki sound or song or whatever. Oh, Brian Last was so proud of himself. He was playing it over and over again. We're like, stop the bass.
Eddie
Do you know that
Kingston.
keychain he's been trying to get to work? Well, the second
Yeah.
one works, and we finally heard that song, that mysterious song that it's supposed to play.
Eddie Kingston and Hook. By the way, Hook signed an AEW extension, so he's gonna.
Of course he did, because his father is in AEW.
marinate. He's gonna marinate in mediocrity for another 4 or 5 years. So, Eddie Kingston and Hook defeated the Frat House, Cole Carter, and Griff Garrison, with Jack Jameson like pinfall, just jabronis, and Hook. I mean, initially, Hook and Dominic Mysterio debuted at the same time. Look at Dominic Mysterio, double champion, world champion already, and Hook is just floundering in the pre-show stuff after 5 years. So,
and they're both second generation. I mean, I feel bad, but it's Taz. I mean, he's Hook is not going to leave where his father is. I don't know why
Yeah.
he won't break out on his own and go back to or go to WWE, but I don't know if Taz didn't. Maybe WWE didn't treat Taz very well. I don't know. I
Well,
don't. I wasn't there.
Vince made him into a commentator, and he was well treated there. It wasn't like Vince mistreated him. And the next another pre-show match, Harley Cameron will defeated the Top God, Megan Bain and
Ugh.
Penelope 6 feet tall,
Right. Someone was
and
showing, or we saw that clip of Megan Bain that I don't know.
yeah,
Brian Last says she's gonna be something. She's in AEW. She's wasting her time. That's my opinion. I think
yeah,
she's
she
just
is.
wasting her time.
Well, she is because she's I mean, I imagine her in WWE working with Rhea Ripley. I mean, that would be a
Yeah,
fantastic
she could
feud.
be something in WWE, but
Uh,
she's wasting her time in AEW.
but
She's gonna ruin her
unfortunately,
body for what? For a billionaire who doesn't give a fuck about you.
she signed for 4 or 5 years, and it's like what's the point? I mean, if you're not Mercedes Monet or Tony Storm, you're not going to make it in women's division. You're just
Right.
not.
Right.
And unless you get in with Tony Khan, that's the only way. But she's basically been stuck on Collision now for
And
weeks, so
Soho
that's
came
why
back from a pregnancy, right? She was pregnant for 2 years.
that like that annoyed me. The reason when I criticized that is like, really, you've been out for 2 years and Tony's been paying you this entire 2 years. I like, hey, you don't want to come back to work? You're fired. Here's your release papers. I mean, you could stay and run your stupid little restaurant all you want. You and your husband. You can run your loser restaurant and don't come back to TV. Maybe WWE will take you again. I don't know, but
She
I'm
was
not
on
paying you for.
WWE.
Yeah, she worked as Ruby Riot there for a couple of years. So,
Okay.
yeah, so you can go back. Your husband. There's no way WWE's hiring her husband. I mean, that guy's just jabroni, but they possibly hire her back. It's a pay-per-view match: Jamie Hayter versus Tekla, which is that new girl that debuted. Everyone's banned from ringside. Okay, whatever. There's no results, so I'm just reading this. Jurassic Express, Jungle Jackoff, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks. The winners receive a $500,000 cash prize.
And nobody cares because everyone hates Jungle Jackoff.
Mm-hmm. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP versus the Band, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. Tornado Trios match to determine number one contender for the AEW World Trios Championships. I mean, Bobby Lashley is stuck in this tag team / trios team, and it's like he should be the world champion. Like, and then you should be pushing one or two other young guys to eventually dethrone him and become
Right. Because
AEW's
Adam
top
Page
guy.
is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good.
Adam Hangnail Page should not be world champ.
They already tried him once as world champion. He failed. In
He's
fact,
failing again.
he failed so hard that Tony Khan had him second match as world champion, defending his world title in the second match. Even he knew he failed, and somehow he put the belt back on him a couple of years later.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle Fletcher, the champion, versus Mark Briscoe for the TNT title, whatever. Chris Statlander, the champion, versus Tony Storm. Chris Statlander got this belt randomly, like for no reason. The last pay-per-view, it's like, why?
Did Tony Storm forget to kick out or something?
I don't know, but I'm surprised Tony Storm ate the pin there against Chris Statlander. I mean, it was like a 4-way match. I mean, she could have dropped. I'm surprised she didn't drop the belt without getting beat. I mean, it's like, well, I'm not getting beat, Tony. So, had the other two girls beat her. Hey, she can beat the other two girls. I'll drop it that way. But
do you think she's going to win this one? I mean, she would be, or she's a paper champion. But I think they're going to give it back to Tony Storm.
She has to have one successful title defense before you throw it back on
I
Tony
agree.
Storm. But
I'm just saying this is AEW we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Storm gets the belt back, but yeah, to not be a paper champion, she has to have at least one good run with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
and cleanly too. She has to beat Tony Storm cleanly.
Yeah,
but unless they don't, unless they want to, help Tony Storm then she won't win cleanly.
Yeah, so that's who cares? All right, so we have a winner takes all match for the TBS title and the Challengers Championship. Mercedes Monet versus to be announced. This is an open challenge which may be answered by any champion in the world.
Which
So
just means that Tony,
she's gonna win another belt, basically.
yeah. So Monet is going to win another belt. Nobody cares about this match. It sucks.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it's not like, so and so wrestlers coming out. I mean, who's going to take on Monet anyway? She's like the female version of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Fuck's
she's
sake.
Tony Khan is treating her. All these indie promoters are treating her like she's Hulk Hogan, and she can't do a job, or we got to treat her with kid gloves because she's such a big star. Except she's not over unless it's in WWE. When she was Sasha Banks, she was massively over. To be fair to her, that's because Vince and the WWE produced her. They produced her to hell because she's terrible on the mic. She's totally exposed in AEW on the mic. She's awful. She needs a manager. But they still haven't given her a manager. I'm sure she's refusing the manager, but look, you need somebody to talk for you because you're just awful. I mean, without WWE's production and producing her and telling her what to say, she's awful on the mic.
Yeah.
So the next match is a world tag team title match between Bandito, and Brody King versus the Don Callis family. Could you
know what Jim Cornette called him? It was funny. He called him Bro Dildo. I like that better.
Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita with Don
Take
Callis.
a shit.
So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be... again, I don't know who's going to win because Okada has been just on... His performances have been phoned in. Like, every single match
and
is like...
they have said as much on Jim Cornette. I was listening
he's phoning in his performances. Like, he's just gotten lazy as soon as he signed with AEW.
He literally, they're tired of him actually on, I'm glad that Jim Cornette and them watch it so I don't have to, because I literally would be like, oh my God, save me.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Dynamite in like 6 months or more than 6 months. Yeah, it's just not something I'm interested in. I tried, I mean, to talk about it on the show, but it's just brutal. In fact, I may end up watching TNA wrestling more because now I have that obscure channel they're on. So I'm gonna probably start watching that. The next match is the world title match between Adam Page and Samoa Joe. So Samoa Joe is back in the main event scene randomly when he was in the pre-show last 2 pay-per-views. So
yeah. So just it's kind of like pushed him back to, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense for me. I don't really have any respect for Joe because he's just not a big star. That's why I think WWE didn't want him anymore, or TNA didn't want him anymore.
Vince fired Samoa Joe once, and Triple H brought him back in NXT, and then once Triple H was gone because of the heart issue, Vince fired him again. So it was like, and he ended up in AEW, and he's been doing that ever since.
And so the rest is history.
I wouldn't be surprised if Samoa Joe comes back to WWE for one last run because Triple H is a fan of his. So he probably, when his AEW contract is up, he'll have one last run in WWE before he calls it quits. So that's what I think ended up happening with him. Is he going to win the title here? Probably not, because Tony is committed to Hangnail as the champion. So that's it. But most likely Samoa Joe is just going to lose here. The final match listed here is the I Quit match between Darby and Jon Moxley.
The Boar Horseman and Bruiser Moxie. I don't, like I said, I don't have any respect for Darby Allin because you literally went and climbed Mount Everest and achieved what? I mean, why did you even there was like a big buildup too for this, that he would go and climb Mount Everest and come back and he'd be, it sucked. It sucked. No one even gave a fucking shit that you went and climbed Mount Everest. Nobody gave a shit. And I have no respect for people like that, especially when they talk shit about Punk. And Punk is on a superior show, literally over. People are singing his song. Darby Allin, you're just a Punk kid, literally trying to be CM Punk.
Yeah, he's I don't know what he's doing. I mean, Tony Khan is allowing him to climb Mount Everest and still send his salary every week or whenever how often they get paid, but it's just absurd, I mean, Darby Allin he could be something interesting if he just stopped doing the stupid shit because he has a unique look with the face paint but he's so small that it's difficult to take him seriously.
Mhm.
So he
He's
could
even
maybe be
smaller than
something.
Sting, and I didn't even like
Yeah,
Sting,
yeah. He maybe could be something if he stopped doing the stupid shit and take his wrestling more seriously. But I just he would never stop that because this is what he does. So it's like AEW is the only company that's willing to put up with this. So it's like he's there. That's what you're gonna do. Um, let's get to this Andrade situation because Andrade returned to AEW Dynamite last week.
Mhm.
Here's the issue: he got fired by WWE, and he had a 90-day no compete,
Oops.
which is an issue because WWE, when they fire you, every wrestler has a 90-day no compete, which means that they can't work for 90 days. But WWE pays them for the 90 days. And then once 90 days is up, they're free and clear to work wherever they want. For some reason, Andrade thought that he didn't have the 90 days, so he just debuted immediately, right? And like 2 weeks after he got fired. Here's the thing: WWE sent AEW a cease and desist letter, basically saying Andrade had the 90-day no compete, so he couldn't work for them. That's why he disappeared from television, and nobody's mentioned him since in
Right.
AEW. So
Oopsie.
yeah, here's the thing: AEW didn't do their due diligence and ask Andrade for his paperwork and see whether he can work or not. Because
Mhm.
if I'm Tony Khan, I damn well know that WWE has a 90-day no compete for every wrestler they fire.
Even
So
WCW knew that
yeah,
back
so
in the day.
if Andrade's trying to work with me, work for my company, is like, where's your paperwork? We need to see this and see whether you're free and clear because I don't think you are, dude. I think you have a 90-day no compete. Let me let our lawyers look at your paperwork and we'll let you know before we even start using you on TV. And they
Mhm.
would have found out that, oh yeah, you have a 90-day no compete, dude. So we can't debut you until the new year, basically, because it's 3 months. So 3 months is December. So anyways, WWE sent a cease and desist letter, and Andrade was taken off TV immediately, and he's been
Mhm.
sitting at home ever since. And apparently, there's more news that since Andrade purposely failed multiple drug tests, this is why he got fired because he purposely failed the wellness policy test at least twice that we know of, maybe 3 times. So it's multiple drug tests.
3
Failed.
strikes and you're
So
out, right?
that's what the wellness policy is: 3 strikes and you're out. So he got fired. But TKO snuck in a clause in
Hey,
the
John, blessed
contract that
be.
they
Sorry.
basically saying that if they fire you for cause or for a legitimate reason, then you have a 1 year no compete in the United States. And nobody knows about this clause. Nobody reads their contracts when they sign them. None of the
No,
wrestlers
they
really
just sign
read.
them. Hmm.
Yeah, so and they snuck in a clause that basically say if they fire you for cause, you have a year no compete, not 90 days, and your standard 90 days. So you can't work in the United States as a wrestler, as a MMA fighter, or anything like that for a full year in the United
Well, that's
States, at
gonna
least.
suck, especially because he literally showed up on AEW.
Which is why AEW opened themselves up to a possible lawsuit from WWE because he worked there one of their events, even though he's still under contract with WWE technically. Because what it is, and there's a lot of controversy over the non-compete clauses because it's happening now with a lot of these like restaurants. If you cook for a restaurant, I think which it's a sandwich maker company, I forget who it is, but they have a 6 month non-compete. So in other words, if you get hired by this company, not Panera Bread, it's some deli company that they have a 6 month non-compete, so you can't
Jersey
work for.
Mike's.
Yeah, that thing that's it, Jersey Mike's.
Okay.
When you get hired by them, there is automatically a 6 month non-compete, so you can't work for their competitors for 6 months.
Hmm.
So that's why non-competes are controversial in the news right now. So what WWE did is they decided to change it. They changed the wording to from a non-compete to a notice of termination. So basically, then when they fire you, they give you paperwork saying notice of termination. We are ending your deal at from 90 days from now, which is such and such date, whatever date it is.
Yeah.
And that's when you get fired. So they're not calling it non-compete. They're calling it a notice of termination because they're giving you notice that they're going to fire you in 90 days, basically. So you're not fired immediately. You're fired for 90 days. So they're being weaselly with the legalese. It's like, oh no, it's not a non-compete. It's a notice of termination. So
Well, if you fire somebody, you fire somebody immediately. That means they go home, no paycheck, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, eventually they will get their paycheck, but they'll get their last paycheck. But yeah, this sounds like they're just trying to screw people out of not going to AEW, I guess.
Yeah. So I question whether that year non-compete is even legal, because it's like you cannot stop people from working for a full year in the United States. At least he can work in Mexico and Japan, but he can't work in the U.S., which is his home base. He works mostly in the U.S., so he had to get himself booked in Mexico and in Japan.
Well, he just can't work as a wrestler. He could get a regular 9-to-5 job. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he can't be a wrestler or an MMA fighter in that year. Here's the thing. I don't know. Andrade doesn't have the money to fight WWE, but Tony Khan does. I wonder if Tony Khan's willing to help him with that legal battle. Because I don't think that's legal.
Well, and billionaires are going to win, but I mean, WWE are billionaires too. So I don't know. It's the clash of the billionaires. It's like what they were doing with WWE or WWF and WCW. They were just having bullshit, lawsuits over practically nothing. They took Scott Hall off, or they were suing. WWF was suing WCW because of Scott Hall, how he looked so much like Razor Ramon, was acting like Razor Ramon.
He looked
but
like
he was going
Razor
under
and he
Scott
acted
Hall,
like
so what does
Razor.
it matter?
So, and Razor Ramon is the WWF intellectual property, so that's why they sued WCW and Eric Bischoff in particular, because they were having Scott Hall act like Razor, which he was doing. He was acting like Razor. He like Razor. He had to do everything.
Right, but that wasn't solely the character was what was copyrighted, not the whatever Scott Hall did. Scott Hall could just say, "This is what I do. This is what Scott Hall does."
Which is why the WWF, kind of lost that lawsuit. There was a settlement outside of court,
of course.
So they didn't really win the lawsuit. But the reason why the 90-day no competes, Vince started doing that was because of Lex Luger. Lex Luger worked WWF house shows the weekend before Nitro, and then all of a sudden, because his contract was up, but he was working as a favor to Vince, and because they were working on a new contract. But of course, he ends up showing up. He worked Sunday for WWF, and then he showed up Monday night on Nitro because he didn't have a contract, so he could have done it. So he did it, and then after that, I think Alundra Blaze appeared as the women's champion because her contract was up, and Vince forgot to take the belts off her, so he threw the women's title in the garbage. That was that moment. So ever since then, Vince started putting no competes in his contract. So,
that was Medusa.
Medusa or Alundra Blaze, she was called.
Okay, because I was gonna say she's the one who threw the women's championship in the garbage. But Eric Bischoff wanted that to happen. So
yeah,
did you ever hear what happened with that lawsuit?
No, I don't. Was there I remember there's a lawsuit over that, but I don't know. I don't remember what happened. No, I don't know what happened.
I was gonna say I heard. I mean, and that's sort of why everyone thinks that the Montreal screw job happened because it's not that Vince didn't trust Brett, because Brett would never do that.
Yeah,
Brett would never do what Medusa did, or do what Rick Rude did, which is show up on the show, at the same time. That's a pretty good trick, Rick. But no, like he would. The thing is, Vince didn't trust Eric Bischoff.
No, he didn't trust Eric Bischoff at all. Which is why he was afraid of was Eric Bischoff going on TV and saying, "Oh, we signed the reigning WWF champion." Yeah. Which Brett absolutely refused to lose to Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series that night. So Nitro came on the air first at the time because Raw didn't go on the air until 9. Nitro came on the air at 8. So if it was reversed, I don't think the screw job would have happened because they would have done the plan where Brett gave the belt to Vince, thanked Vince, and walked away and gone to WCW. It wouldn't have been an issue. But since Nitro came on the air first, Vince almost knew for a fact that Bischoff would have announced that he signed the WWF champion. So and Vince couldn't allow that to happen because it would bruise his ego and embarrass the WWF that they lost their champion. So without Brett dropping the belt the night before, so which is why they did the screw job because Vince realized that I gotta take the belt off Brett. Either he does it willingly or we screw him out of the belt, but we gotta take the belt off of Brett tonight at Survivor Series. So it was like, yeah, we can do a whole episode on the screw job, but leading up to it, the history of it, Bret Hart signing a 20-year contract with Vince. In a year and a half, Vince broke the contract and said, I can't afford to pay this. So this is before WWF went public. So it was Vince's money.
And I
It wasn't the
definitely think
investors'
that
money.
was like the wrong move to do. I really do because I mean, Brett would have stayed for anything. He would have taken a pay cut to stay with Vince. But
Which
it
is
was Vince that
amazing.
said, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do this."
Yeah, I'm sure that Brett, they would have worked something out. If Vince would have said, look, I can't afford to pay you right now, but we'll defer some of your money. Like, we'll defer your money with interest. So down the line, if we become profitable again and if we do good business, then I can pay you with interest. I'm sure
Right.
Brett would have accepted that.
Right.
Some deferrals of his money down the line. Instead, Vince said, "No, I'm just gonna break the contract, and you can go to WCW if you want."
Yeah, you better go. You better call
The Bischoff and get your
Bischoff
deal.
again. Yeah, and go get that deal again because he had been talking to Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and that was before Vince offered him that 20-year contract, which Brett ended up signing because he was loyal to Vince,
Mm-hmm.
and which is what hurt Bret Hart, and he never got over it. I mean, even to this day,
Right.
he's still kind of
He's
bitter
still
about.
very bitter. Still very bitter about that. He doesn't like Triple H. He doesn't like.
No,
In fact, his words were Triple H. He never really impressed me. I never really wanted to have a match with him. I wrestled him a couple times,
yeah,
and
they did wrestle.
he wanted to be over. He wanted Brett to put him over. He's like, there's no reason why I would put him over.
But that makes no sense because Hunter at the time was a preliminary guy. He was just Shawn Michaels' lackey at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So why would Brett put him over? Brett had no obligation to put him over then.
That's
Because
what Brett said that Triple H is like, I'm gonna go over, and Brett's like, why would I put you over? That doesn't make
no,
any
yeah,
sense.
no,
So
you're
you might
not.
as well just bury me while you're at it.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just say fuck. I'm not gonna put you over because he was in the main event. He was at the
Mm-hmm.
time, and Triple H was just Shawn Michaels' lackey in DX. So it wasn't like eventually he would become like Triple H, the game, the main event. He would work with the stars. Like he wasn't a top guy. He would work with the top guys, and he was good in
He
that
was
role.
pushed to the
But
top guy because he married Stephanie. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room
mhm.
because I'm telling you, if Triple H had not married Stephanie McMahon, he probably would just be another mid card at least.
Yeah, he would have been mid card and out of WWE, or he would have been a low level producer or an agent.
Yep.
Vince liked him, so and he would have never if he married once he married Stephanie that solidified his role in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Because he worked with the Austins and the Rocks and the Mick Foleys and the actual like top guys, but he was Undertakers. But he was never really a top guy. When they tried to make him a top guy, because by 2002, 2003, Rocky was gone. Steve Austin had retired because of his neck injury.
Yep.
Owen broke his neck, and he was the top guy. He was a top heel. So that's when we get the reign of terror for those 3 years where Triple H dominated Raw and dominated the world title,
Right.
and it sucked. It was just awful. It was him, Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy Orton. It was like
And Ric Flair was, I mean, he should have retired years and years ago. and
Yeah,
he still wants to. He's still talking about one last match. One last match. No, Rick, just be
he
70. Okay, be
he had his
75.
retirement. He had his retirement match with his his son-in-law Connor. I forget his name. The fat
Conrad
guy,
Thompson.
Conrad. Yeah, not Connor. Conrad Thompson. And hell, I had an argument with him on X about how he wasn't protecting his father-in-law. He was promoting a pay-per-view of his father-in-law's last match, and he was in his like early 70s. Then I'm like, what are you
Yeah, like
doing,
72,
dude?
73, maybe even
Yeah, it's like,
74 at the
and
time.
he just came out of the hospital and he like died. It's like, what do you got to protect your father-in-law instead of trying to squeeze every last dime out of the Ric Flair name, basically. And it's like,
But it just seems
it's
like that. No offense to his
mm,
eldest daughter, but it seems like Conrad Thompson is literally just a leech. He's just a what do they call
he,
women? Gold diggers.
yeah,
He was just a gold digger
yeah, he
because
married Ric
literally
Flair's
he married Ric
older
Flair's
daughter,
oldest daughter and
not
has
Charlotte, but the other one. Yeah,
kids
yeah,
by her. Megan, I
hmm
think, is her name.
yeah,
Megan.
I think
Well,
so.
he married Megan, had a couple of kids with her, and now all of a sudden his renting business, he rents houses and stuff. His renting
Yeah,
business went through the roof. Shocker.
yeah, because he's associated with Ric Flair, but you got to protect your father-in-law. I mean, I wouldn't promote that
Yeah.
pay-per-view. It's
I
like,
would I would say, Rick, you're crazy. You're 74 years old. You need to no, you cannot wrestle. Why? Because you're 74 years old. You need to be out fishing somewhere, taking a rest, taking your time because this is not where it's at. He almost died 3 times in that ring. It's almost like
yeah,
Rick is trying to literally die in the ring.
yeah,
I mean, I hate to say that. I don't like Ric Flair, but I don't like whatever his real name is either. I don't like that person because he doesn't know how to be that person. He only
yeah,
knows how to be Ric Flair. And that's why
yeah,
he's 0 for 5 in marriage.
yeah.
He literally
So
has split from his 5th wife.
yeah, it's absurd. Like Ric Flair is always going to be Ric Flair, but at the same time, it gets to a point where enough, it's like, but his excuse was, well, this is what Rick wanted. We're gonna give him one more match. It was a tag match. It was him and his son-in-law at the time, Andrade, versus Jeff Jarrett and somebody else. So I don't remember who the
Richard
somebody else
Morgan
was.
Flair?
Fleer,
F
yeah, yeah,
Fleer,
Fleer, I
yeah,
think it
okay.
is.
You just need to be that person. You need to be Richard Flair. Okay? Not Ric
Hmm.
Flair. Ric Flair
Yeah,
is the nature boy Ric Flair. And honestly, I like the whole promo that Stone Cold does on Ric Flair.
uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
like, do you like nature? Do you like boys? No, don't
No.
answer that.
So, yeah, it's just he needs and he's trying to angle for one more match. So it's like, no, I don't like who's going to promote that match unless your fucking son-in-law does it again, but I don't even think he wants to do it at this point. So
I
it's
mean,
like,
at this point, I would be like, just no is no, Richard. No means no means no means no. You cannot do it. A 76-year-old cannot wrestle. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, so it's just tough, it's tough to
And stop getting married, Rick. Obviously, marriage is not your thing. So stop getting married.
oops, hold on. Sorry.
Stop getting married.
Yeah, so
He's
it's
cheated
just
on every
brutal.
wife he's had, just like Trump. I'm really surprised Ric Flair and Trump are best friends.
Yeah, it's just brutal. So yeah, that's hour one of pro wrestling talk. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we're gonna go over to other platforms. We do have one video I want to play real quick before we get to yours, and yeah, so hope everybody enjoyed the show. We're gonna try. We'll be back next Saturday, I believe. Because
Yep.
Saturday's main event is November 1st. I think it's a Saturday, obviously. So
Yeah.
let's see. So we got 25th. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. The first is we'll do that. Have to do that Sunday.
Yeah.
Day of the Dead. Oh, nice. The second, November 2nd, and then we'll be back. I think when is War Games? I think it's the 22nd or at the end of
20.
November.
Yeah, I thought it was the 24th.
That's a Monday, wouldn't be?
Okay.
It's
That
either
match
the
has always
22nd.
been- That match has always been wasted potential.
Well,
no, it's
yeah,
awful.
it's because they literally took the WCW War Games. They took the roof off of the. First of all, they made it
bastardized
like, yeah, they made it one ring. They took the roof off of the cage, and they literally got rid of the Survivor Series. I liked the Survivor Series. I liked when Kurt was in it, when Mr. Perfect was, in it, and I liked how they used to have 5 guys. When they started, it was 5 guys, or it's 10 guys, 10 guys in the ring, and then they had that tag team that was like 5 or 6 tag teams. Everybody had to like stand on the apron and stuff.
Yeah.
But they had 10 guys in that ring, and by elimination, one by one, that was what Survivor Series was. Then it went down to 8 guys,
It seems
and then
like
it
that.
was like, oh well, in 91, I think it was 1990, if you won your match at Survivor Series, your first match, you get to go on and be a leftover, and you got the ultimate, what was it, the ultimate thing, or it's like the playoffs. It's like they almost did the playoffs for like wrestling.
So
But you got to be in the big main event,
Every
Of
time
course it
when
was
William
Hogan.
Regal-
Of course it was Warrior.
Every time when William Regal or someone announces War Games, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, War Games
It's
at
every year.
WCW. I think the best War Games they were saying was 92. It had Rick Rude in it, I know that, and it was a cage. It was literally a 2-ring cage that they would put people in. I don't know why they did that, where they built like multiple cages on top of each other and then had them like work their way up. I don't know what that was about, but excuse me. 92, Rick Rude and Steve Austin, Larry Sabisco, and there was a couple other people in there. Brian Pillman was on the other side, I think. But anyway, they had Paul Heyman there, and that was one of the best War Games they said ever to grace the screen, I guess.
And WWE bastardized War Games. I mean, there's this weapons.
It's awful. It's just it's literally like they literally, yeah, as you said, they bastardized it. I don't even recognize it anymore.
Triple H. I think
I'm like,
Triple H
this is not
believes
WCW War Games.
Triple H believes that the Survivor Series concept, what Vince did in the 90s and was passe, was nobody cared about it anymore. But this War Game stuff is awful too. So it's like
I would rather have Survivor Series back. I would rather have that.
John Cena said, "I will ruin wrestling." Triple H has ruined wrestling.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not just him. It was Vince too. Vince went crazy and ruined it.
But just people thought Triple H was going to make it so much better. He hasn't. So
because he should have known better. He was a wrestler. He knew those storylines. But if you remember the Reign of Terror, he wasn't really that good. So he's going to only benefit those who, I guess, suck his dick. I don't know.
He's
You like Jeff Gordon too? So does my mom.
I thought I told you that before. He's my favorite driver of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
So said my mom. My mom was a big Jeff Gordon fan.
We're gonna go over to the other platform. So let me end.